Okay. So this is a bit of a different video to what I've done before. I've done a lot of polished videos, but I haven't recorded probably consistently for a couple of months. So you'll notice that I've dropped off majorly with YouTube. I started with YouTube doing daily videos with Quarantine with Craig whilst I was locked down, stuck in my house in this very room. And then lockdown started easing and things changed a little bit, and I haven't been as stuck in the house as I first was. And I've been doing other things. I've been working mostly on Produce More for the last 2 months. The next video I'm doing, recording straight after this, is a look underneath and inside of Produce More. But this video, I've called it, because I didn't know what to call it, Real Talk on hustle culture, grind culture, and hard work. I associate very strongly with these three things: hustling, grinding, and hard work. If you're not too sure what they are, let me just give you a quick preview of what they are. So hustle culture and grind culture and hard work, they're all the same thing, really. It's people who are making videos telling you that you don't work hard enough, that you need to do more, that serve as examples of best practice in terms of getting the most stuff done in a day. So Gary Vaynerchuk on YouTube was one of the biggest components of this. His message has always been hustle, hustle, hustle. He's a hard worker. I work hard. You should work hard too. Patience, patience, patience. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Grind, grind, grind. And this thing has spread across the entire internet. Everybody now thinks that the best way to get anything done is to work really, really difficult and really hard on something for as long as possible. They think that the only way to succeed is to do too much work. And I talk about this a lot. So this is a self-reflection video more than anything else. And I've been trying to think about how to talk about this for quite a long time, because there's a couple of things that have caused this video to happen. Number one, everybody on Twitter who are trying to grow a Twitter account now say platitudes. So platitudes are things that make you feel good, that get a lot of engagement, or things conversely that make you feel bad, that make you feel guilty that you're not getting enough done. And a lot of those things that people say on Twitter, platitude particularly, are all based around grind culture and hustle culture and hard work and getting more done and doing more and you need to get more done and blah, 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 blah. And I'm held up as one of these proponents of hustle culture. I actually had a friend text me a couple of weeks ago. The whole thing's called hustle porn by some people. So Gary V's videos is hustle porn. People watch them to see how someone works so hard that they can look up to. And some people see it as a bit of inspiration, but I guess some people just watch them just to say, oh yeah, I'm never going to be like that person because I can't do that much work. So they look at somebody like Gary V and think, that's not me and I'm never going to do it. So it's a little bit hustle porn. And someone texted me, said, you are the hustle porn star. You know, you are a hustle porn star. You talk about hustle, you talk about grinding, you talk about work hard. You talk about hard work all the time, and I do. And I'm held up as one of the proponents of that. And the amount of people that message me on Twitter or DM me on Slack or basically send me messages and say, thank you for being who you are because you inspire me to get more work done. And everything I do, Extreme Production, the book is called Extreme Production, is about doing work every day. I'm writing another book called Press Start, which is about getting stuff done and actually beginning on a project. And then my website is called Get Doing Things, and everything I talk about, no matter what it is about hard work and hustle. So I am an odd person to be shining a light on this kind of thing, because everything that I say is this. Everything I say, you know, falls under this kind of banner. And to give you a kind of example, if you don't follow me on Twitter, these are some of the kind of tweets I've tweeted fairly recently. Make it simpler, make it smaller, make it one thing. 365 days of consistent effort will get you everything that you want. Most people quit at day one. Every day I do at least 50% of things that are bad. My get out of jail free card comes from the fact that I produce 50% more than everybody else. Those kind of things. So I say these kind of things on Twitter all of the time. So I I am cultivating the caricature of being a hard worker. And the reason I'm bringing this up is this will become clear in a little while why I'm mentioning all this. This is a caricature that I'm playing up to, and I try my damnedest by making videos like this, by making podcasts, by writing emails and doing loads of other stuff around just the thing that I talk about. I try to make it clear that everything I do isn't amazing, and I'm not some kind of superstar hero, and I'm not necessarily somebody to look up to, although, you know, I do try to put out content that people will be inspired by. That's the whole thing. But I play up to the caricature of that. It's particularly on Twitter. Twitter is a short form medium where you have to play up to the caricature of something, otherwise people don't pay attention. You've got to play up to the caricature. So on Twitter specifically, I play up to the caricature. On Twitter, when you watch any of my videos, on my podcast, when you listen to my podcast, you'll quickly realize that it isn't me. It isn't the whole thing that I am. But particularly on Twitter, I play up to it. And the reason I play up to it is because I genuinely embody this. I am a hard worker. And that's the only thing that I know in terms of presenting a personality, in terms of becoming a brand or whatever you want to call it, making a personal brand. That's the only thing that I am. That's it. I'm an okay designer, but that's come through 15 years of hard work at being a designer. I'm okay at making videos, and I'm okay at podcasts, but that's all come from making thousands of them. So everything that I know has come from hard work, and that's the thing that I say to you over and over and over, hard work, because that's what I know. But that doesn't mean that you have to do what I do, or you'll get the same results if you do what I do, or you'll feel the same way if you do what I do. I think that's the fall down in the whole hustle culture thing, the hard work thing. And that's what you've got to be really careful of. If you follow what somebody else does, like me, you probably won't get the same results as me, because you don't have my head, you don't have my personality, you don't have the way that I see things. And if I follow somebody else's tactics, you won't get the same results as them either, because the way that they think and the way that they work is different to how you work. So you've got to be careful when you consume these kind of things that you don't end up just trying somebody else's tactics blindly and realizing that they won't work for you. As an example, last night, so the very last night, yesterday, I came home at midnight from a friend's house. We've been playing board games all night, and I came home and started writing Press Start. I've got to get it finished this week. It's released on Friday, and there's a couple of chapters that I wanted to get done. So I sat down at midnight and started writing it, and then it was 1:30 a.m. in the morning by the time that I'd finished, and I really enjoyed working on it. I wouldn't recommend that most people did that. Some people would see that as hard work or hustling or all of those annoying words, but I wouldn't ever recommend anybody do it, and I wouldn't ever put it out on Twitter, and I wouldn't say that people do it, and I'm not saying it now as a humble brag. I'm just saying it as an example of my extreme personality, and I wouldn't ever expect anybody to become that, and I wouldn't promote it. And another example is my Twitter. I've been doing Twitter seriously. I've done a bunch of videos about how I've taken Twitter seriously on this channel. I've done 3 of them. I've been taking Twitter seriously for around 4 or 5 months now, and I've gone from 1,200 followers to 2,200 followers. That's been damn hard work to do that in 5 months. I write about 10 to 15 tweets a day, sometimes upwards of 30. I've done it the hard way, and there's many, many ways to do Twitter that's much easier, and I've seen other people who've started at the same time as me, gone from 0 to 8,000 followers. I'm not jealous of them. It's amazing that they've done it, but the way that I've done it is damn hard work, and it's not the most efficient way of doing it. The only way I know is to hit something over and over until it turns into something that I want it to be. There's much more sophisticated ways to achieve things. So when you look at the way that I do things, don't automatically presume that because I've had success with it, it's the best way to approach anything. And this is a good way to look at anything on Twitter, on YouTube, on the internet. This is the good way to look at things. Don't look at something that somebody has done that you look up to and automatically presume that that's the best way to do it, because the way that I've done it is based on 15 years. Well, actually, the way that I do everything is based on the whole time of being alive. It's based on my whole life experiences. So everything I do is based on 32 years experience of the way that I've experienced my life. And it might not, and usually won't, jive with the way that you do your life, the way that you do things. So don't look at things that people do and automatically presume that it's the best way to achieve it. Look around and see what other people are doing too. That's one of the main problems with the whole hustle culture thing, and the way that people are saying things on Twitter about hard work and grinding and working and working and working and working and over, and these pointless platitudes. The culture, the whole hustle culture thing, and the whole idea behind hard work is good. I do support it in general, and I do consume it myself. There's times when I'm not feeling inspired to do things, and I do consume it myself to get things done sometimes. But you've got to be wary of who you consume in that space. There is genuine people who are hard workers, and there's genuine people who have done things that are really, really good and really interesting, and you should follow the way that they do things and feel inspired by them and do things a little bit more like them. But there's other people as well. There's people out there who aren't working hard but are putting these things on Twitter, or they're 20 years old and they've got a Twitter account of 20,000 followers, and they're saying these things about hustling and grinding, and they've got no life experience to back up any of the points that they're saying, but they're saying them because they know that they get good engagement. And you've got to be careful of those kind of people and consuming those kind of people, because those kind of people are saying things but don't do the actions to back them up. You've got to consume the kind of people who are saying them but are also doing the actions to back them up. That's the big difference between the hustle culture and the hard work culture and all those things. And you've got to be careful who you consume in the space. And one more point I want to leave you with is that the reason people talk about hustling and grinding and hard work all of the time is because it strikes at the core of most people. Most people are guilty that they're being lazy. We're all like that sometimes. Sometimes we turn up to a day and we're just not being very effective. Everything we do doesn't go right. We're not being very productive. We feel guilty that we aren't getting anything done. So we go online and we might Google how to be more productive, and then we'll find a YouTube video, and then that person will be talking about hard work. You just need to go work hard. You just need to get more done. You just need to do more in a day, or you need to shut off all these apps or do this thing. And then we found ourselves another personality, quote unquote, and we go over to the Twitter account and we follow them on Twitter. And then we see all these platitudes about all you need to do is work every day for 365 days, things like I say. You just need to work 365 days at a consistent effort and you'll have more than you've ever known. Or you need to stop thinking too much about the task and just get the task done. These are things that I say every day on Twitter. Or you need to just work harder. You need to press start. You need to stop thinking, do more, think less. Those kind of things. And you think, yeah. Now I feel fired up. And you go away and do some work. And those kind of situations there that I just described, that kind of thing is okay. If you need inspiration or you need motivation to just go get something done in a short-term basis, by all means go consume whoever it is who comes up on the internet in your first Google search. But if you're consuming this kind of content over a longer period of time, you need to be more wary and more careful of the people you're consuming. Enjoy the content. Enjoy Gary Vee's videos about how hard he's worked and how he's going to buy the New York Jets in a few years' time. Enjoy the videos where he's going out on a weekend and he's buying baseball cards and he's making loads of money off them. Enjoy all those videos, but see it as entertainment, because it is entertainment. It's not there designed to give you advice to live your life by. It isn't. You might want it to be, but it isn't. It's just entertainment. So consume it accordingly to those facts. It's just entertainment.